There are moments in life when you realize you're not alone, when the hair on the back of your neck stands up for no reason, when every instinct screams at you to run, but you can't move. Tonight, I'm going to share 3 true stories from Reddit. Stories about the watchers in the dark. Stories that will make you check your locks twice before going to bed. Tonight's tale takes us into the quiet backwoods of Georgia, where a child wakes up in the dead of night and discovers something watching them. When I was a kid, my parents were the best. They let me crash in the living room on weekends while my sister slept in her room. I'd stay up late with Nick at night, but I always ended up dozing off on the couch. One night, something jolted me awake, a prickly feeling, pure instinct. I shot upright and stared out the window. Our house was surrounded by thick Georgia woods, and in the perfect glow of moonlight, I saw it. A human silhouette sitting in the damn tree. Before I could even process it, our family dog bolted to the window, teeth bared, snarling at the glass. My heart nearly stopped. Terrified, I sprinted into my parents' room, stumbling over my words to explain what I saw. My dad didn't hesitate. He grabbed something from the closet and ran outside with the dog. Minutes later, he returned. He swore there was nothing out there, told me to go back to sleep. So I retreated to my bedroom, still shaking. My sister woke up, and I whispered everything that happened. Finally, I thought maybe I could sleep, but then I saw him. A man standing right outside my window. In the pale moonlight, I could see him clearly. He pressed his finger to his lips and made the shh sign. Then he turned and ran into the woods. I broke down. I cried for what felt like hours. No one ever found out who he was or why he was there. But that night I realized, sometimes the scariest thing isn't what hides in the woods. It's what's watching you quietly from the dark. If you were in my shoes that night, would you ever sleep again? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget, this is only the beginning. More true stories await. The next story is even worse. Imagine being home alone, only to realize you're not as alone as you thought. My house sat further back from the street than the others. Strange layout, too. The sidewalk ran the length of the living room and ended right at the porch. Big windows lit up the house beautifully during the day, but at night, they left me completely exposed. My family was on vacation. I had the whole place to myself. That night, I got drunk, too scared to walk to my bedroom, and just passed out on the couch. The couch, right under those giant windows. 3 a.m., the devil's hour. He woke up suddenly, not knowing why. Severe chills ran through his body like electricity. And then, the banging started. Bang, bang, bang. Right above him, someone was standing at those massive windows, pounding on the glass. He didn't move a muscle, but his eyes opened, looking up at the window above the couch. And there they were, a silhouette, pounding, demanding entry. Then it got worse. The banging stopped and started again, from 2 directions, one at the window, another at the front door. Then it stopped. Blessed silence. Maybe they were gone. Maybe it was over. 2 of them, 2 people trying to get inside. For 40 minutes straight, they hammered at his sanctuary. 40 minutes of psychological torture. 40 minutes of pure, helpless terror. Finally, they stopped. Finally, they were gone. But the damage was done. This wasn't just a scary story anymore. This was trauma. The next day, desperate for company, he called a friend. "Can you come stay with me for the rest of the week?" And his friend's response? "What the fuck for? So we can both be murdered in our sleep? Thanks for nothing, friend. Some guardian angel you turned out to be." Our last story tonight is different. It's not about something supernatural. Sometimes, real people are scarier than any ghost. I was 17, just got my license. My friends and I had a game. We'd find abandoned houses to party in. One night, I spotted the perfect place. A massive, unfinished home, sitting alone with a huge, empty lot behind it. One evening before the movies, I showed it to a friend. I pulled in for maybe 10 seconds, then left. But a minute later, high beams filled their rear window. A big truck riding their ass, following them toward the main road. At first, they thought nothing of it. Rural roads, big trucks, Nothing unusual. Until they reached the traffic light. Until the truck cut through the gas station. Until it blocked them off completely. And out stepped a hulk of a man. Here's the truly terrifying part. This was a busy road. Cars should have been everywhere, but suddenly, impossibly, there was no one in sight. Just them, this man, and whatever dark business they'd accidentally stumbled into. He rapped on the window. The boy rolled it down. What choice did he have? What were you doing at the house? Quick thinking. Just making a U-turn, sir. The man stared and stared, and then he smiled. That smile that said he knew they were lying. That smile that said they'd seen too much, but he let them go. To this day, that house remains unfinished. To this day, it sits there like a monument to whatever dark business requires such violent protection. Our storyteller's convinced it's a drug operation. But honestly, after hearing this story, I'm not sure I want to know what really goes on in places like that. Some mysteries are better left unsolved. Ghosts are scary, but the living can be monsters too. Which story tonight left you most unsettled? Let me know in the comments, and never forget to lock your doors.